Hi guys, this is Alternate Universe here, and what I'm doing is I'm going to be making a FIFA manager mode. I just decided that I fancied to do this, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. This first bit, you can basically see that you can have a 15% increase of your starting transfer budget, which I definitely want. And you can also select to have a global transfer network, which will basically bring in better players, and you'll be able to find better players. I've decided to go with Wolves today because personally they're the team I support, and I think that they've got a good foundation. Right, now we're going to pick our manager, what he looks like. You can have him in a suit, a shirt and tie, or in a tracksuit. I usually just go for the shirt and tie. I just think it looks a bit more professional, a bit better. Right, we're going to keep our first name Mr. and our second name we're going to be having it as Alt Universe, because I can't unfortunately put my full name of Alternate Universe, but that doesn't really matter because if you guys are watching this video, you know what this channel is called at the end of the day. So we're going to keep it at that, and of course it's going to be English because that's what I am. Right, now we're going on to this next bit. We're going to put it at world class because I find professional can be a bit too easy, and world class is a bit more challenging. I'm going to keep the games at 4 minutes, and we're going to keep the stadium, but we're going to change the name to the home of Wolves, which is Molineux. It did take me a while to think of how to spell this correctly because I kept putting a couple of letters in which weren't there, but that's because I'm no good at spelling. So we're going to apply and exit that. You can also have European competitions in the first season, which we don't really want that, and you can disable the first summer transfer window, which I'm not going to. Right, now here we're going to do a pre-season tournament because it brings in extra income and it can be fun. You have 3 choices here, so we can either go to France and initially win 3.7 million. There is also Spain, which is better, where you can win 1.18 million, which, yeah, that's alright, but I think you can do better. And this last one in Belgium, where you can win 4.4 million, and that's what I'm going to go for. Right, now I'm just going to show you how much money we've got. So we've got 23.3 million with 85k wage budget, and here are the objectives I need to do. So I need to get in the last round of 32 for the FA Cup and hopefully win the league. I've got to try and sign one player from the youth of overall 75 and increase it by 10. I need to gain just over 10 million in shirt sales for the season, so bring in better players, you can do that. No continental success at all. Domestic success, need to win the championship, which we did this season, and I've also, as I've just said, got to get into the FA Cup 32. Right, now on to the next bit. We are going to sort out our squad because I think Jota would be better on the wing than he would be up top. So I'm going to put Benik Afobe there, and I'm going to put Alfred Ndiaye instead of Romain Saiss. To be fair, I think the team's as strong as it can get at the moment, because some of these players aren't very highly rated. I also know that Brighton Ebukar can be increased quite a lot, so hopefully I'll be able to keep him around a bit. Now I'm going to change the captain from Conor Coady to Ruben Neves. I just think Ruben would be a much better captain than Coady on FIFA, while in real life Coady's been brilliant as a captain. He's been a brilliant leader. Right, on to the next bit. We're going to start looking at a couple of players here, because we could definitely do with improving. So we're going to look at the goalkeepers first, which, to start off with, we're going to go and have a look in England. Of course, I'm trying to look for young players for them to improve in the long run. And if there's any players that you'd like to see, I'd like you to put it in the comments, and I will definitely have a look at them. The first player I'm going to look at is Joel Pereira from Man United. He's a very young keeper, which he can then improve. I also looked at Lucas Zidane, which is Zinedine Zidane's son, and Angel from Valencia. I know that this keeper here, Jose Sarr from Porto, can be a very good keeper, but he's very, very expensive. Now we're going to have a look at centre-backs, which we're going to look at mainly Premier League centre-backs, because I just feel like they are more all-round suited. And the first one we're going to look at is Juan Faith from Spurs, a young player. I know he's a very good player because on other career modes I've signed him and he's ended up being very good. The next one is Mason Holgate, another player that I've signed on other career modes, and again, young and can be improved very easily. Next, I'm going to be looking at Victor Lindelof from Man United, because apparently in real life we are looking at him, but I want to see what it's like on FIFA. Then we look at another young one, Alfie Mawson from Swansea, and finally Declan Rice from West Ham. Now here I've also looked at left back Andrew Robinson and right back Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool, and I want to look for another defensive mid. So Daniel Amate is a very good player. I've used him on quite a few career modes over the years, and I know he can be a very good player. So now we're going to go and have a look at some centre mids, which I could only really find two that I was interested in, that could be possible. Unfortunately, one of them is on loan at the moment to a club, which is Renato Sanchez. I know he's very, very good on FIFA. Unfortunately, he's had a terrible season this year, but that sometimes happens. The other one is Harry Winks from Tottenham Hotspur. I think he can be a very good player, not just on FIFA but in real life. Now we're going to have a look at a couple of centre attacking mids, and the first one, unfortunately we won't be able to get him because he's just signed, but it's Will Hughes for Watford. The next one is a very young player, which I know he's very highly rated, and that's Ben Woodburn from Liverpool. Now we're going to go over and have a look at a couple of strikers in Spain. So we got Paco Alcacer from Barcelona. He's very highly rated, which would be a bit difficult to get him. We also are going to have a look at Bojan Mayora from Real Madrid. Again, young, which is always good. So now we're going to have a quick look in the Premier League, see if we can find any players there, like Kelechi Iheanacho. I've signed him on quite a few career modes. I love the player, he's brilliant on FIFA. And we're also going to have a look at Liverpool youngster Dominic Solanke, who was signed from Chelsea. Now here, we've got a brilliant player that can improve a lot, Ben Brereton from Nottingham Forest. Very young, very quick, and he knows where the net is. And now we are going to have a look at left winger, who I've signed on quite a few career modes, Justin Kluivert. He's 18 years old, very quick, good at crossing the ball. And now we are going to go into the first pre-season match, which, as you will see, I will end up winning 3-1. We did have an offer for Matt Doherty, our right back, of 4.1 million from Crystal Palace, which I end up rejecting. And now here we've got an offer for Carl Akimi, which it has started off at £1 million, which hopefully I can boost up here, and I'm going to try and get 1.3 million out of them. And unfortunately they rejected it, saying they can't really offer that, offering 1.1. So I'm going to try and boost up to 1.25 million, and again we'll see if they'll accept it, which they didn't. They offered 1.15 million. So here I think this is our final one, where we're saying 1.2 million, which Leeds are going to accept it. I have also put a few players on the transfer list, like Harry Burgoyne, who's a goalkeeper, Danny Bart, centre-back, Roderick Miranda, and on loan I've put Courtney House, Morgan Gibbs-White, Brighton O'Carr and Niall Ennis. Here you'll see in the second game we won again. All these games I'm not going to be playing because you don't really need to play the pre-season games, and you guys probably don't want to watch it. And in this third game you'll see again we'll win 3-0. It just shows how good our team is. And now here we're going to try and sign a few players, which I made a little mistake here trying to sign Renato Sanchez, but unfortunately because he's on loan you can't sign him. So here we're going to try and loan in Joel Pereira, and we'll just negotiate with Man United, see how we can get him, and we offer 2 years for him, which they are happy to do. And we're going to try and only pay about 40% of his wages, because it is quite high for a young goalkeeper, which is only 71 rated. And now we're going to go for Ben Brereton, which I'm very, very sure we'll be able to get for quite cheap, which is a surprise because in England they always want really high transfer budgets for him. So to start off with, we're gonna offer a bit lower of 1.4 million, which they're not going to accept, and they're going to say we want 1.7 million for him. So we're going to try and knock them down a little bit at 1.5 million for him, which they're still not budging. So we're going to try and offer again, and hopefully they'll accept it, of 1.6 million, which, as you can see, they accept it. Which personally I wouldn't, because he's a very good young player which can constantly improve on here. So now we're going to go into talks with him, and we're going to offer him an important role at the club, which it seems like he's happy about. So then we're going to look at the contract length, offer him about 4 years, which hopefully we'll be able to keep him for longer than that. They don't want a release clause, and neither do I, because I've had release clauses on players before, and basically clubs can just take them off you without you saying, oh, okay, then we'll accept it. So here we're going to give a signing bonus of 450k, and we're going to offer him 15,500, which he doesn't accept. He wants 17,000 a week, with 440k straight up. So we're going to offer 360 with 17 grand. He doesn't mind the signing bonus, but he wants 18 grand a week. So I just thought we'll accept that. He's a very good player, and I'd like to have him on board. Here you can see the left winger I wanted, Justin Kluivert, unfortunately has gone on loan to another club, so I can't have him. And some of these other players, clubs aren't looking to sell, or they're not looking to loan out. But here we're going to try and sign Daniel Amate, which would be very good next to Ruben Neves, because he's the destroyer and Ruben's the creator. We also did have an offer for 3.9 million for Conor Cody, which we rejected, because I think that's a little cheap for him. Here we're going to try and offer them a player, which I'm just having a look here to see who we could offer and who they might want. And to start off with, I'm going to offer them Roderick Miranda, which he is a player that I've put on the transfer list. So they said no. So I'm going to try and look for a new player, which they want a centre mid. And I will offer them Morgan Gibbs White, which is a very good young player. But they also want 8.6 million on top, which I'm not too happy about. So I'm going to try and bump it down a little bit, because they're not going to accept it otherwise. So to start with, I think I'm going to offer them 7 million, as you can see here. And then I'm going to also offer them a sell-on clause of 5%, which they don't want a sell-on clause, they just want 8 million and Morgan Gibbs White. So I just thought, I'm going to accept it because I want to bring him in and I don't want to lose the talks with them. So here we're going to negotiate with Amate, see if he wants to come to the club. So we're going to offer him, I think it was an important role. Yeah, it was an important role, which he's happy about. They want a 4-year deal, which I'm going to counter and try and get him for 5 years, which again he's happy about. They don't want a release clause either, which again is good, so I'll accept that. And now we're going to talk about his wages. So we're going to offer him a little bit more than what he's on, 40k a week, with a signing bonus, of course, because players won't come if you don't offer them a signing bonus. So I'm going to offer them 700k straight up. They're okay with signing bonus. They want to lower the wages but add a bonus for if he scores 15 goals, which personally don't think he will. He's never been known as a goal scorer in any of my career modes. But there we have it. We've signed him, which I'm very happy about. Now we have our next pre-season game, which the other two seem very, very easy. So I'm simming it again and we end up winning 1-0. Now here we have the final, which hopefully we can win this, which will mean more money, which would be good for a club. And as you can see, we win 1-0. Now here we have an offer for Danny Batth, one of our centre backs, which is 1.8 million. We did end up selling Carl Akime, and we, unfortunately, he has had a bad year this year, finding out he's got leukemia and stuff in real life. But I just think that we need a bit more money here. So here we're trying to get a bit more money out of Bournemouth here. So we're just going to offer just under 2.3 million, which they will accept, which is very, very good. And we ended up selling him. We had one more offer for Matt Doherty of 4.3 million from Swansea, which we rejected. We didn't really want that. So, and also Conor Cody ended up getting injured, so we had to look at a few players like Dan Axel, Zagadou from Borussia Dortmund, Tinjevej from Leverkusen, Reece Oxford, who's from West Ham. He's on loan at Mönchengladbach. Jonathan Tah from Leverkusen again. And now here we have our first game of the season, which hopefully we can win this. And there's our manager there watching over the players.
Well, they can be really.
So we've got two debuts here, one for Middlesbrough, which is Britta Assombalonga, and we have Daniel Amate, who's just there. Hopefully he can have a good first game. And here's the Wolves team.
Set out for this vital fixture. Well, we put it up as a 5-2-3.
Which, as you can see, it has changed a little bit. I've brought Marte in, I've brought Pereira in, and Barrett in. I've put them all in the starting 11 because of Conor Cody being injured. Courtney House has been brought in. He's pretty quick, that's why I've put him out wide instead of in the centre. And now here's the Middlesbrough team. A very strong team again. And at the start of the season in real life, we ended up beating them 1-0. And to say they were tipped to go straight up, back up to the Premier League, and they didn't. And we did, which was a very good day for us. And we've had a brilliant season this year. Right, now here we're going to see the first attack of the game, very early on. Diego Jota's got the ball. Ruben Neves is going to have a strike, as he has all season outside the box. And unfortunately he missed that one. Now here we get the ball back, and that's a foul. At the end of the day, it was a silly mistake. They shouldn't have done it, especially so close to the goal. So Barry Douglas is going to have a little strike here, and hopefully he can score. And as you can see, it's a brilliant free kick from Douglas. So he's going to go celebrate with all the fans. I'm not the best at scoring free kicks on here, but I'm so glad that that free kick ended up going in. So now we won up against Middlesbrough. As you can see, literally just tight to the post, curled in. To be fair, he's done quite a few of them actually in the season. Alright, here we are, the kick-off again. Which they're going to try and push forward. And as you can see, they're going to keep going. And they take a strike, the ball goes in the back of the net, but luckily for me, he was offside, and by quite a bit. And now they're going to go on the attack again. They lose the ball, but it goes back to one of their players, straight back through, and they end up scoring. So it's 1-1. Very, very lucky goal, in my opinion. But sometimes those happen, especially on FIFA. I've scored quite a few of those over the years, and I've had a lot of those I've conceded over the years as well. But if they don't keep happening, you won't learn. Then there wasn't much more, so we got to half time, and here's a couple of the results. Some of them are going in our way. They're looking good. So here we're going to have a look at a few of the match stats, which it does seem like Middlesbrough are just on top. A bit more possession, few more shots, but nothing really major. So we're going to go straight back into the game where we had the kick-off here. Now here we're going to go on the attack. Nice ball to Brereton, back out to Neves. Neves with another strike. Unfortunately, it just goes wide, and it was curling away, as you can see here. It was a very good strike, it was just wasn't on target. Here we're going to break with Neves again, and we've got it to Jota, back to Neves, over to Douglas. Douglas puts it in, and unfortunately Costa couldn't get his head on that, so here we've got a corner.
He has got the opportunity to change the tactics as well as the players.
So we're going to pass it short, knock it in, but unfortunately didn't really do much. Comes back out to Neves, Bolle, going to try and put it in, but they clear it.
Maybe expected a bit more.
Now here, Middlesbrough go on the attack, and the final whistle is going to end up going as soon as the keepers kick this ball. It's going to go out, and that's our first result. I'm glad that we didn't lose, but personally think we probably could have won that game. We're going to have a look at the match stats, which here we started to come back. Unfortunately we had one less shot on target, but it looked a bit more even towards the end. We had a corner and Middlesbrough didn't, but that happens. Now here's the final results of some of those games. Aston Villa and Hull ended up playing later. Now we've got our first cup game for the Carabao Cup, which is going to be us against Hull City, and we're going to just change the team around, but I'm not going to show you that because it's a little boring just watching me trying to sort out the team.
I can sense the extra buzz amongst the supporters as we came into the stadium. Our match today is Wolverhampton Wanderers against Hull City.
The team should come up any minute.
Wolverhampton Wanderers. They go looking for a
And you'll see that
I
I haven't really kept any players from the first team in, apart from the goalkeeper and the centre-back Courtney House, because unfortunately I haven't got much cover in the centre-back position, and I just want to try and keep Pereira's form going as much as I can. Now we're showing about Roderick Miranda. He's been a hit and miss player for Wolves this season. At the start he looked good, and then he started to look a bit dodgy, but here I'm going to only really use him in cup games on this, unless there's an injury. As you can see, I've brought some of the younger players, changed both centre defensive mids.
Yeah, I think it's one of those. It could be anything.
Ndiaye, I think, is a brilliant player.
He has got some very talented lads out there.
But I just think that Marte is going to do better in the first team. For me personally.
We've got the Hull City team here for
so
you.
now we're going to have a look at the Hull City squad, which is quite a strong squad. And they've also got on the bench a former Wolves player in Nua Dicko. It was a shame to see him leave. But at the same time, we've kind of got to move on, and we thought we did. And at the end of the season, we haven't looked back thinking, oh, we needed Dicko. At the start of the season we thought it, but towards the end we didn't. Right, now here we go. Here goes on the first attack. Vinagre puts the ball straight through to Ivan Cavallero, puts it to Afobe, and unfortunately he didn't score, and Enabkar missed the ball. And now we're going to have a corner here. Vinagre putting the ball in, and unfortunately Enabkar couldn't header that in. And again, another effort from us, of Alfred Ndiaye, and the keeper saved it again. So now Hull are going on the attack, but it blows for half time. It was a very, very close game. You don't really want to see the results because no one's interested in the rest of the teams, but we are on top at this point. We just couldn't break through the goalkeeper, so we're going to try again in the second half, which now is Hull's kick-off. Now here we go on the attack once again, with Cavallero on the ball, and Afobe is going to cut in. He has a strike, and Marshall has just been brilliant in this game. Here again, another one. Going to put it straight through to Afobe, and he's just going to hit the post. And now you can see that Enabkar's on the ball. So he's going to beat the defender, put it back into Afobe. He has a strike, and it just goes over.
and that's full time.
Yeah, he's got to take a lot of credit
So
for
we're
that,
going to go into
because,
extra
he
time,
had to take the shot quick.
which was very frustrating because I thought we should have won that game by a landslide in the end. As you'll see by the match facts here, 11 shots, 5 on target to their 2 shots, 1 on target. I had better possession, I had more corners, no offsides. It just didn't go our way, unfortunately. I'm not going to show you the extra time because nothing really happened. So we're going to go straight into the penalties. First one is going to be Benik Afobe. He's going to end up scoring. And now here's the Hull player. Is he going to score this one? Yes, he does. Unfortunately, it's the ABBA rules. I think it should just be one team takes a penalty, next one takes the next. Here you'll see that he tries a cheeky ding and our keeper just gets in the way. Ivan Cavallero up next. Bang. Scores it. Now it's Ruben Vinagre. He's going to try it. Oh, very tame. The keeper saved it. David Myler for Hull. And Pereira saves the penalty. Next player up. He unfortunately scores this one. So up comes Brighton of Gar. And the keeper saves it again. Tries to go down the middle and didn't seem to work. So here's Alfred Ndiaye. Nice penalty. Nice. Keeper wouldn't have saved that. So here's Bowden. He's going to score. Unfortunately I dived out the way, which I should have known he was going down the middle. Now here's Wilson. Wilson! And he scores. So here he is, Roderick Miranda. See if he can score this one, and he does. Now Romain Saiss. Is he going to score this one? No, the keeper's going to save it.
Well, it's down to him now. If he scores, they win the game.
Right, now here's the right back for Hull. Oh, he's absolutely skied it. Is he going to score this one? Oh, he's gone right under the keeper. I don't see how he come to save that. Otsu Aya, and he's going to score. Courtney House. I do apologise for some of these names, I can't say it correctly. Courtney House had that penalty saved. And you can see me as the keeper, I'm just doing a few dance moves. Am I going to save it? Oh, what a save. McDonald for Hull. Will he score this one? And he doesn't. Pereira saves it. Now here's our young right back. And the keeper saves that one too. Now here's the goalkeeper. Joel Pereira. Will he score? Yes, he does, with a little bit of luck. Now it's goalkeeper versus goalkeeper once again. Will Pereira save this? Let's hope he does. Oh, what a save. The keeper's going absolutely mental. Which, personally, I'd do exactly the same if I was the goalkeeper. You literally just saved an absolute worldie of a penalty. You've stopped Hull from going to the next round. We've just about squeezed through. It was very frustrating throughout the game to not score loads of goals, but sometimes it happens in FIFA. You've got to count yourself lucky at times. And Afobe jumping on Pereira, and Hull have now gone out. So here's a little look at the match facts. 12 shots, 6 on target to there, 5 shots, 3 on. I had 3 corners to none of theirs.
I had better possession, but what can I do? There's a couple of the results which we're not really that bothered about. Right, now our next game will be Derby. I do apologise for this video being so long, but with it being the first video, I've got to try and get into it to start with, and now we're going to call it an end. Hopefully you enjoy it. I look forward to reading your comments. Hopefully you like it. Please subscribe to the channel, and peace.